outside of my relationship with Jesus Christ, what changed the trajectory is marrying Amanda Miller at Capshaw. Because from day one, she chose to pray for me. She realized, and friends, I tell you, I am selfish. I tell you that I've said not nice things to her. I've done not nice things to her. I've said not nice things to our children. And she still chooses to pray for me. She's been there by my side as I've fought addiction. She's gone to my side as I've gone to counseling. And she's chosen to pray for me. I am the enemy at times. I know the things that I said that I should be the enemy. And she says, no. My battle's not with you. The battle's against the evil one who wants to kill me, steal me, and destroy me. And she said, and I said, what's great is when it says in Ecclesiastes that a strand with 3 binds, we're not easily broken, because there's been times that she's gone through depression. There's times that we've lost a child. She almost lost her life. Guess what I was able to do? To put those gloves on. Let's go, Satan. Let's rumble. It's the rumble in the jungle. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? We are more than conquerors. Amen. But yet we missed the mark. So this is my challenge. Who wants to see Elwood saved? Amen. Few people. Who wants to see your loved ones saved? Who wants to see sickness and disease eradicated? Right? Who wants a spiritual revival? And I believe with a spiritual revival, when people's hearts and minds are right with God, that the economy will turn around. We get that backwards. We think when the economy turns around, then maybe people's hearts and minds will turn around. Who wants to see not the disillusion of marriage and the destruction of the family, but to never see another marriage end in divorce? Anybody? Yeah. Who wants to see their children come back to God? Anybody? Yeah. This is what we're going to do. This is the challenge. Because it says in 2 Chronicles, if my people, I'm telling you, you want to see this movie on Wednesday. If my people who are called by my name, that means who's a believer? Who's a believer? Because if you are a believer, this is said, my people, you are his people. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray. Let me tell you what's going to happen. The gloves are going to come off against your husband and wife. Why? Because what you see them as negative characteristics, now you're going to pray for them. You're going to pray for those negative characteristics. Satan is the created. He was an angel that fell. It means he's not smart. He's not creative. So you know what he does? He uses the same things over and over and over again. Have you noticed that? He knows what your weakness is. He knows I'm going to poke here. And if that doesn't work, guess what? I'm going to poke over here. Because I know where you fell before. I know where you're going to fall again. Until you start saying, oh, 40 days. 40 days, 24 hours a day. You see that? And my wife is amazing. She said, I'm going to take the 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. Then there's no way to be able to do it. 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. She said, up there. So here's my question for you. I need 24 prayer warriors that will humble themselves and pray. It may cost you something. Because guess what? All of a sudden, people are coming up for air. All of a sudden, people who have been sitting on the sidelines, people who have been sitting down, you kind of get up and you're like, all right, I'm back in the race. And all of a sudden, the evil one's going to see you. Remember, he's looking for someone to kill, steal, and destroy. And guess what? You have to be serious. I don't want you to come and sign this because you think it's what you're supposed to do. I'm looking for 22, because my wife and I, 22 other people who will partner with us for the next 40 days. And you can add to your list of what you specifically need to pray for. But there's 5 things I'm saying corporately everyone is going to pray for. First is I covet your prayers. As your pastor, as your spiritual leader in my family. Because guess what? If you strike the shepherd, the sheep have no leader. I already know that Satan's coming. But that's okay. That's okay. Why? Because as long as God is for me, he can't touch me. And when it's my time to go, there's nothing that I can do to stop him. Right? So I ain't afraid of him. But I covet your prayers. The second thing I want you to pray for, this is not a time to pray about bunions. This is not a time to pray about tennis elbow. This is not a time to pray about car buckles. We can do that another time. We're praying for lost souls. Here's the other thing I want you to do. And if you sign up, I'll make sure you get this list. I want you to keep a prayer journal when in the next 40 days we see answers of prayer. Will you do that? One person. Will anybody else? I want you to pray because not just for me, for the community of believers. Us Christians who are going to partner together for the next 40 days and say, guess what? We're going to go to battle. And guess what? There's a reason it's called spiritual warfare. You're going to go to war. You may have some scars at the end of it. Yes? So don't take this lightly. You say, well, and then you forget about it. Pray for the community of believers. Pray for the marriage and family. Do you not realize it's under attack, right? Yeah. Anybody realize that? Yeah. Just because they keep legalizing sin doesn't mean that we have to accept it, right?
That's exactly right.
Right? And guess what, man? If we wouldn't have dropped the ball, if we would actually be the spiritual leaders of our household, guess what? If we were standing there to protect our family and provide them with good things, I think it would be a lot different today. Yes. I want to pray for the families that are broken. That's my prayer. My prayer is that another marriage never ends in divorce. Never ends in divorce. Does anybody have a child that's lost, that doesn't yet know the Lord? Would you like to see them come back?
Yes.
Pray for them. Pray for them. I pray for this community, freedom of addiction. And remember, what are we trying to do? I'm addicted to food, right? I love to eat, right, Jeff? Love to eat. And I abuse food. And I say, well, at least it's not drugs. At least it's not alcohol. At least it's not looking the best stuff online. And I figured when I stand in front of God and he said, did you abuse food? But that wasn't on the list, was it? I mean, we all got to eat, right? And so what are we trying to do? I'm just going to try to diet and willpower.